Okay, this is Denver Broncos Mile High View. No commercials, no bullshit like you get with the NFL. Bucket Man again walked out by halftime. He'd been done with the poor product on the field, and he's just done with it. I think that if people haven't learned by now that the Denver Broncos need all the help they can get, I don't know who can help you. However, I'm going to say this. I have to apologize to the Denver Bronco organization. Not that you need to get rid of the front office, the people that have been there for 8 years. You definitely need to do that. Not that the offensive line definitely blows. Not because of that. Not because you need to revamp the defense. Not because of that. But because the mistake we really made, and I said it for 2 years and I got away from it, is that the rest of the league is just as bad as you are. Do people really want to see the Pittsburgh Steelers? Do they really want to see the Cleveland Browns? Good God. Do they really want to see the Texans? I mean, I'm just going to say this right now. Put the fucking Broncos in the Super Bowl. Forget Miami, the Chiefs. Forget all that. Put the Broncos in the Super Bowl. Just do it. Obviously, CBS was just gushing over the Broncos. Gushing, and I've seen this happen, with different teams, different seasons, and this time it's the Broncos. Gushing all over them. They're the little darlings. Just go ahead and put them in the Super Bowl. Just do it. Just do it. That's what you want. Just do it. Okay, let's put it this way. This game should have been, if this was quality football just by the Texans, and if you could have actually had quality referee work, this game should have been 35 to 10 in the third quarter. I mean, you had a bullshit whistle blown. It was clearly a strip and a score. You had a clear pass interference on Cortland Sutton that wasn't called. So that's 3 points right there. So 7 for the Texans, 3 for the Broncos, figuring if they couldn't, if during the pass interference they couldn't score a touchdown. It was at least 3 guaranteed. Russell Wilson misses a for sure touchdown, wide open Judy. And I'm not going to blame this all on Russell Wilson like the rest of the fans there. He had a bad game, and that was the reason. No, that wasn't the reason. This game should have been over long before then. The quarterback for the Texans missed 2 wide open touchdowns. So, I mean, by halftime it should have been 21 or 28 or whatever it was. 28 to 3 or 10 or whatever. I'll say 10. It should have been 28 to 10. It's just, man. You saw some really good corner work. I'm doing a video on the Cleveland Brown game that I'm going to be wrapping up at some time this week. Just, again, to show how much help the Broncos need and just how bad the product is out on the field. But the Texans had some decent corner work. And it's very rare you get to see it in this day and age. What you usually see is what, the Cortland Sutton pass interference that should have been. Nobody looking back and just, pushing and touching receivers. But with that said, that opened the door for a bunch of turn the other way for the Broncos. Obviously, the strip, the fumble strip score that should have been. But also on the Broncos' last drive, of course, they're bear hugging and their offensive line sucks. I mean, they had we've been saying this whole time about McGlinchey that CBS actually shows the lowlights of McGlinchey because we're just making all this up, of course, although that's what the film shows. That final drive, you had Garrett holds, bear hugging and piggyback riding and no call on the 4th and 1. And then there was just some egregious holding on the on Texan defenders that wasn't called. Now I will say this, and I will say this on the positive note for the Broncos defense is I do like some of the blitz packages that Vance Joseph dialed up. They were creative and they were very effective on that accord. But the problem is, and I'm not just going to pick on the Broncos. Texans, there was nothing there. I mean, obviously, it's easy to throw the ball in these soft zones on the Broncos. It's just not hard at all. Texans just aren't a very good red zone team. I don't know why they went for two. They're not that good at the red zone. They just should have kicked the extra point and been done with it. But, like I said, it's just not the Cleveland and the Pittsburgh and as wild cards and the Texans. It's just, like I said, just put the Broncos in the Super Bowl. Just get it over with. Just do it. Just bypass everybody, put them in the Super Bowl, because I'm sure the NFC, whoever gets in there, is going to give us, a low-quality product, because nobody can play four quarters, it seems, anymore. Detroit's up and down like a yo-yo. You don't know what team's going to come out there. I'm sure that Philadelphia, if they get to the Super Bowl, be more than happy to drop passes and be happy to fumble it away. I'm sure they would be. Because, like I said, the Broncos, I'm sure there'd be plenty of flags and, everything they could do to help, make the game interesting. Same with Dallas. If Dallas got in there, I'm just throwing some names. San Francisco, the same thing. I'm sure they would somehow not play very good to make the game come down to a last minute whatever. I thought the Super Bowl against Philadelphia and the Kansas City was decent, because they were both offensively clicking on all cylinders. Defensively, that was another story. But, at least that made sense. But just put the Broncos in the Super Bowl. Just do it. They're the NFL's darling right now until they're not. And then all of a sudden you'll see probably flag after flag after flag for all the holding they do out there. That's one way to keep the Broncos from moving forward. When that time comes. But right now, just put them in the Super Bowl and let's just get it over with and have a Broncos, whoever, Super Bowl, and watch the kind of garbage we've seen for the last how many weeks since the Kansas City game. Just that long. Just do it.